If you're a business owner, offer owner, or practitioner, what is one strategy of many that you could use to maximize the profits on your exit, and how can this help you? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Sylvan coming to you live from Haleiwa, Oahu, on a perfect day to talk about business and exits, and a fantastic day to talk about you for consulting secrets. All right, so there's a lot of different plays and playbooks that you could use and strategies that you could use to maximize your multiple to get paid the most upon your exit, which you absolutely should. You should get the fruits of your labor. So I got my $12 whiteboard, and I'm going to give you a scenario here. You got a company doing $1 million in top line revenue, 200,000 in profits, and a 3 times multiple. Upon exit, using straight line math, that company would be paid $600,000 roughly. Okay, but like, we don't live in a straight line world. We live with variance. And so what happens is most companies have different levels of revenue every month. I drew a rainbow because I'm out in Hawaii, and it just makes sense. So if this company is doing $1 million in revenue, and they're pretty much down here at 0 in January, they're at the max in June, and they're down here at like 0 again in December, a trailing 12 months using your type of multiple would be insane to sell in any other part of the year but the height of your revenue. Okay, so on this example, I would say, hey, investor, hey, private equity, I really want my exit to be in May or June, right? I really want, like, that would be a condition that you would put in place and say, this is when I want to exit my company. Yes, you have your trailing 12 months. Yes, you have your history, but I really would prefer this exit to happen. Now, there's other things, like in the service industry, in-home services, I'm going to give you this as an example. There's cancellations of memberships, there's cancellations and refunds, and you can track those numbers. In your business, in your service, you're going to have other metrics to track besides revenue. It's not just going to be the revenue. It could be cancellations. It could be contracts signed. It could be contracts renegotiated. It could be labels that you're able to achieve to put on your business. But one of the things that you could do to maximize your exit is to put your revenue on a graph and find out historically, not just over 1 year, but historically what your best runs are. If you could do this over 5 years and you've got 5 years of run data, you can be pretty dang close. And like, you may find out that the best time of the year is mid-May. The best time of the year is the beginning of October. The best time of the year is the last week in December. Well, there's something you need to know about investors and private equity and buying businesses. But before we get there, if you have a business doing at least $2 million a year in revenue with a 10% profit margin, and you need some help with your exit, and you're going to exit in the next 2 to 3 years, you should reach out to the Deal hotline, 888-DEAL-919, 888-DEAL-919, and a member of my team will get back to you. No deal is too big. The weird thing that you have to be aware of is at the end of the year, from about November 20th, I'm going to put it on the map, from about November 20th to about January 10th, this area in most major investing has no time frame, meaning there is nothing going on in the investing world. Everybody's on vacation. There's like about a 10.5 month run of business when it comes to mergers and acquisitions. Not private investors, but like private equity, okay? This is not an absolute. I can't say 100% of the time that you're not going to get a deal done on the last day of December or the last couple of days of December, but just be aware that if you're trying to time your run to get the best, you're going to take the inputs that make your company the best for your trailing 12 months, and you're going to look for the peak. You're going to try to get within 45 to 60 days of those numbers. 45 to 60 days of those numbers is going to give you the best multiple that you can get. Now, history, a company is being bought for its history and the potential for its future. So history first, potential second. So if you can prove, like, hey, listen, here's what my business does. Here's my trailing 12 months, or what my totals were January to January, February to February. In this example, it would be like May to May or June to June. Okay. So if you're doing this means that you're making sure that you have as much revenue in the next 12 months that you can get, and as much profitability as you can get to do things. Now, there are different strategies. I'm not an accountant, lawyer, marriage counselor, or therapist, but I am a taco enthusiast. You know, sometimes people will say, well, I've got all these bills that I want to pay off before I exit my business. Well, Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you go out and acquire more leads? Why wouldn't you acquire more sales? Just a different way of thinking. Doesn't mean you have to do it that way. You got 1 of 3 things to do from here. Just 1 of 3. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.